It's been a second since I've done a collective reading. It's been a second since I've really looked into the collective just because I've been taking them well needed breaks. I know a lot of people's energy gets overwhelming, and I also know that a lot of people's energy, whether they mean it or not, they try to press in on a reading and make it about them, even though it's not about them. You know what I mean? So, like, for me personally, I think that it's easier if I do it when I'm feeling it versus doing it when I definitely ain't feeling the vibes and feeling the energy. I also feel like that's kind of how y'all feeling right now. You know, not even pertaining to the reading, just feel pertaining to life in general and people in general. It's seriously like not that big a deal. That's what I feel like. It's just not that big a deal. You just don't want to deal with people right now, and I think a lot of people make it about them. It's like it's nothing personal, kid. Type shit. That's what I heard. It's nothing personal, kid. Like it's nothing personal, bitch. It's like that statement in itself. I think is a trigger to whoever this person is. I think it's a trigger because it feels like you're throwing them under the bus, or it feels like you're abandoning them or leaving them behind in some type of way. They don't know how to take it. They don't know how to navigate being left behind again by you, or possibly they've been left behind their whole entire life and they just can't understand why. And it's like, I think you telling them the reason why, bitch. I think you said exactly the words to trigger this person, but I think you told them the truth. I think you triggered them purposefully, with a purpose. Even though, like I said, I think that it's hard to say. I think you just don't want to be bothered right now, like you're not in the mood. But at the same time, it's like you triggered somebody with a purpose in your heart. Okay, whether it was intentional or not, whether spirit was there or some decision was made with your spirit guys, where they were like, we gotta cut this bitch off, we gotta sever this bitch out, like we gotta kick this bitch to the curb, get this. Like I just feel like this is some decision that was made without your knowledge even, and it might also be a factor of you kind of just out of the blue, like you didn't even feel like angry maybe necessarily at this person. It's like out of the blue you ended up blocking them or blocking communication with them, or just being like, yeah, I don't want to deal with you, actually, I'm not feeling this right now. Actually, you're kind of a scumbag. You're kind of a idiot. Like I feel like you're talking to the village idiot. So this person might have grown up in a very small place or a small town, or they just got very small minded. Like the brain is stunted in some type of way. Where it's like there's certain types of growth that you can only experience when you deal with certain types of men or women, right? And I feel like you're that certain type of man or woman because you've been through so many paths in your life, in you've been introduced to a lot of bullshit from either side of the spectrum. Every side of the spectrum, in fact. I just feel like the bullshit has amounted to so much that trying to explain this to someone who is dumber than you or smaller minded or who is more ignorant, it's just not good for you. It's very toxic, right? It's very toxic because I don't think that you could ever really match up with somebody who is ignorant. And this, like, I think this person tries to conquer or control you in a means of ignorance, right? So it's like they try to like state their claim or state what they're saying as something factual about men, about women, about this, about that, though they're coming from a place of like being emotionally hurt and abandoned and abused and denied access to certain people's lives, and rejected and feeling like left alone, and I think that you try to, I don't want to say you try to fix this because that's not what I'm seeing at all. I think you try to make a point, right? And you're a little strong. You come off a little strong, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. You come off a little strong. You look like, I think you mean well. You mean good. But, like, in general, I just think that this person can't take the truth. I don't think they can take the truth. I don't think that they can take the fact that you calling them a fake ass bitch. I don't think they can take the fact that you calling them a clown. I don't think they like to be called out. And it's not like you calling out someone by their name. You calling them out with the truth, right? You're a hypocrite, right? You're a spineless hypocrite. Or it's like This person might be trying to explain to you how hard they worked on themselves, but then every single behavior that they say they got over is something that they presented to you in y'all's relationship. And it's like, okay, so I thought you said you was done with this behavior. I thought you said you was done with this and this and this and that. Or this nigga, that nigga, or this bitch or that bitch. I thought you was done with your exes. I thought you was done with all that. I thought you was done with your family. Done with dealing with this and dealing with abuse and neglect and, you know, being talked down to and being talked about. I thought you was done with that. But apparently you wasn't. You know, if you're making this dumb ass choice, apparently you wasn't. Right? Apparently you're not healed. So, you know, do we really need to say it out loud for the back of the class, though? Like, do you, collective, really need to be saying certain things to people? It's like, do you need to call someone out like that? Not really, right? But at the same time, does it feel good to call someone out on their bullshit? Absolutely, right? Though you don't know whether you are going to be the trigger to this person's change or not, and you personally don't give a fuck, stating your truth feels good. Just like this person cannot state their truth and refuses to state their truth and acts fake, right? I think this person is very like sensual, sexually charged. That's what I feel like, okay? And so if you've been feeling like awkward lately or weird about yourself, whether it's your body, your dick, your pussy, like maybe just things ain't they ain't like they used to be type shit. It's just weird between you and this person, the connection sexually. It's just really weird or random. Like maybe you're just feeling turned off entirely. To me, that tells me a little bit of something about this person's like sexual demeanor, right? They don't have sex to turn their partner on and love on their partner and give their partner something good. They have sex to have sex, right? For themselves. For themselves. There's no like groundbreaking like lead up to y'all sexual intimacy. None, right? It's just they have sex to have sex, right? And that tells you a little bit of their mentality, which is I'm going to take this for myself, or this is for me and for me only. They feel like they earned it. Like it's something that you are supposed to just give to them because they look good or because they smell good or because there's some type of way. It just feels like to me, right? This person feels like they're owed something. Okay. Now, if this is a family member, and I know we switching from a certain type of, we switching from sexual to some, you know, but if this is somebody in your family or somebody who is friendly, you're friendly with, right? This is something like they feel like you got better than them. You had something better than what they had experienced. They feel privilege from you, from your energy. They just feel like, how did you turn out not a shitty person? How did I turn out to be a shitty person and you didn't end up being a shitty person? That is what this person focuses on. They focus. This is like something that I feel like it just tears them apart. It tears them up. Okay, emotionally, physically. You know, I don't even think they can stomach looking at themselves half the time, because it's like, how did you end up being such a piece of shit? That's what I feel like. You know, how did you end up being a piece of shit? Well, this person ended up being like a piece of gold, like a gold mine. I think this person just constantly goes back into their head about like, oh, because they got better treatment than I did, because, you know, our parents made mistakes on me, but didn't make mistakes on them, or, you know, this way, that way, this, that, and the third, right? I just feel like there's just so many excuses this person tries to make up in their head on why they're just such a piece of shit. And it's like, they don't know your life, and I don't think they know your story. I don't think they know your background. I think there's something to do with, like, there hasn't even been enough time in order for y'all to get to know each other or to speak of boundaries. I think that this person has tried to invade your personal space. They talk about personal diaries here. They talk about journals and diaries. They talk about the idea that somebody has always invaded your personal energy in your space. They've never, ever, ever, ever given you room to breathe. They've always made it about, you know, oh, you know, because I have this title, right? Because I'm your parent, or because I'm your auntie, or because I'm your father, or because I'm your this, your that, your partner, your lover, they've always tried to include themselves in on your journey, okay? Your sacred space. They've invited themselves to situations that are not about them and will never be about them. You got what I mean?
And I think they try to make a point with it too. They try to make a point that they have some sort of control over you, or some sort of like domineering aspect. I don't like this. I really don't like this person. I just think that there's so much that they don't know about you, and how I think you just know they shit stink, right? I just think you know for a fact, regardless of whether anyone told you or spirit told you, or you've been having dreams lately, you've been feeling uncomfortable, you've been feeling restless around this person. I just think you know they're full of shit. I think you genuinely know that this person's a crock of shit. So I did pull out this card. You wear your heart on your wrist, and it makes even narcissists uncomfortable. To me, now, like, narcissism has a lot of different meanings to different people, right? A lot of people say, oh, we use narcissism too freely, too willy-nilly, right? In my opinion, we do not. In my opinion, everyone's capable of being narcissistic. Doesn't mean they have the personality disorder. It's a sign of the disease is beginning. It's beginning to enroach itself on a person's brain. It's beginning to cause problems and issues within their relationships, within their life. It's starting to affect them for real, right? And so narcissism, though they might not have a clinical diagnosis, and you are not a doctor to be doing this type of shit, right? They still have signs of it, right? They still have signs, and they still refuse to fix those aspects for anyone else, right? I think they pull out, like, they're just a martyr, right? They're a victim, a professional victim. So anytime y'all get into an argument, or anytime y'all are talking to each other, I feel like this person's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then once they really hit the button where you're saying, I'm going to walk away from you, once they really trigger you, really traumatize you, and make you feel some type of way, I feel like this person will intentionally start playing the victim. Be like, oh, you're gonna walk away from me? Why would you do that? Oh my God, like, I didn't even say anything, or you pissed me off so bad, or you had triggered me. You did this. I might have done this, but you did this to me. Okay. In the beginning of the relationship, you was talking to somebody, and so I cheated on. Even though we're 5 years in a marriage, I cheated on you and I fucked somebody else, type shit. It could be cases like, you're going to get what you deserve. I'm going to punish you for talking to a man today, or talking to another man, or talking to another woman today. I'm going to punish you for talking to anybody else, or taking time for yourself. I'm going to punish you for spending time on loving you, right? And some of y'all, there's narcissistic parenting here. And I hate the fact that you still feel the need to deal with this today. Because you don't owe this person your life. You just don't. They did not give you life. They might have birthed you, but they did not give you life. Okay? You gave yourself life. At the end of the day, I was listening to something yesterday on a podcast about how majority of narcissistic, sociopathic, or psychopathic behavior, right, comes from a person who never had any motherly love. That, or the motherly love that they had was so fucked up and so disgusting that it had completely fucked with their mind. The amount of hatred that you have towards your mother, the person who birthed you, or the person who put you into this world, right? That can dictate whether you are a psychopath, a sociopath, or a crazy bitch or not. Okay? And if you have a horrible relationship with your mother, the person who, like I said, this person did not give you life. They put you into this world. You already have a grudge on them because they put you into this world without you even asking so. You already have that grudge coming out that woman's body, right? You already hold that fear and that like, I deserve a little bit of something. Like, don't I deserve something? Like, I didn't ask to be here. I really seriously don't remember asking. And it's like, if you have that shitty relationship with your mother or your father, why are they still in the picture? Why do you still think that's where you belong? Right? Because that's not true. You don't belong there. And like I said, the majority of the reason why you act up and act a fool is because these people, it's not that they push you to that point, it's because you boil yourself up to that point. You get mad for them, on their behalf. You get mad with them. You know, when y'all are battling and butting heads against each other, it's like you sit there and you'll argue with it instead of walking away entirely, just cutting it the fuck out. It's not necessary. This person has a disease. The mind, their mind, and the way that they calculate things, the way that they deal with things, is always going to be toxic. They have a disease. They have a problem. And even when they acknowledge the problem, they still cannot change. So why stick and stay with this type of situation, right? Why keep dealing with the parents or the lovers or the people in your life that abuse you openly and honestly, knowing that they got the problem, right? Knowing that, but never ever fixing it. Okay, I think there's people in your life that take up a certain tone with you as well. I think someone's like, I keep picking up on someone who raises their voice every time you talk, so that you can't speak out what you need to say. And when you raise your voice, that those 3 or 4 octaves above them, you see how fast that they fold. They start crying or whining or some shit like that. Or be like, why are you talking to me like that? It's like, then why the fuck are you talking to me like that, bitch? Why are you saying this shit to me? Like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do to you to trigger this type of response? You know, and I keep thinking in my head, I'm like, why does this person hate you so much? It's because they are hate. They are the physical embodiment of hate. Meaning, while they might hate their own kid, they might hate their loving partner, their baby mama, their baby daddy, regardless of gender. They are the physical embodiment of hatred. They just are. They hate everyone, right? And when I think of a narcissist, that's what I think of. They think everyone has done them wrong just by existence, right? Just, you might not have even been there for their horrible life, but just by you existing, that is somehow a mark on their life, right? Somehow that is a scar for them. Somehow you are a scar even though you weren't even included in this person's life at all, right? At all. You had nothing to do with this motherfucker. Nothing to do with how mommy treated them, daddy treated them, how this person abandoned them, that. But somehow you end up being the one that's punished. Okay? That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm saying. I think that there's a lot of crazy things that go through your mind, right? I know you get agitated. I know you get scared. I know you also have issues. But the way you tackle them with love instead of hatred, that is what separates you. That is why I say y'all are two very, very motherfucking different peas in a pod. Okay? Very you're a motherfucking white, you're a snow pea, bitch. And this person over here is literally just a nasty ass green pea. There's a snow pea, like a cute little snow pea, and then there's like this green pea. This motherfucker that's so nasty, envious, jealous, stinky. Like, I think they stink with just bullshit. I just keep picking up on that type shit. And it's triggering and it's traumatizing. And I feel that. But at the same time, why the fuck you want them that much thing? Why you keep including yourself in, well, maybe we can rekindle. Maybe this person, with age comes wisdom. No. And they're not going to learn that shit from you. Trust and believe. They will not learn that shit from you. They will not. They refuse to. They hate you. What don't you care about it? They fucking hate you. And they're going to keep treating you this way. They say they love me. Well, they say that they would want a second chance with me and that they're going to, rock my world and we're going to be together for the rest of our lives and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. This motherfucker hates your guts. Hates you. Hates you for having anything good in your life. And the one good thing in your life could be, maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your pets. Maybe it's your work, your job. The fact that you have any beam of happiness or beam of light at all shining down on you is a massive trigger for this person. They want so badly to be involved with every step and every single position that you are in, and punishing you and making you feel like shit, right? That anything outside of them that they cannot control is a massive trigger to them. So catch them trying to do anything they possibly can to hurt you during those moments where you are taking breaks. You're taking time for your music, you're taking time for your work, you're taking time for your people, for your family, for your children, for anybody, right? Anybody that you love, that you genuinely love, and who genuinely loves you back, especially, right? Because, you know, there's this thing, I love this, right? There's this thing where you can tell someone is jealous even though they might not be saying it. They get this real nasty look on their face and their eyes glaze over and they look like a demon. They look like a devil. They start looking like a devil, right? And then they pupils get all fucking puffy and big or whatever. They could be high too, but they could have popped something, but no, I'm playing. But what you start seeing is like almost like a demonic reaction, right? What we would describe as a demonic reaction in humanity. It's like when somebody is jealous or envious of you, you can see that and feel that, right? You don't have to be intuitive to know a person is jealous. You can see that nasty, disgusting look on their motherfucking face, right? And you shouldn't have to feel like you're constantly under a fucking microscope. Especially when, right? You're telling this person, you know, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this connection to be like this anymore. I don't want you to keep treating me like this. I love you, so why are you treating me like this? I know that you have a good heart and a good soul, even though they don't. Like I said, you keep pulling this shit out of your ass, right? They don't have a good heart and they do not have a good soul. I am telling you this from the bottom of my motherfucking heart. They don't have your best interest, not one motherfucking bit. So it doesn't matter how many times you block them and unblock them. It does not matter how many times they email you and stalk you and try to screw with your finances. You know, especially if you send them like money or anything like that, they be screwing with your finances, screwing with your credit card, screwing with your shit, trying to basically box you in, right? No matter how many motherfucking times you bring this person back in and push him back away, it will never ever change. That is the spectrum that this person is on for the rest of their life, for the rest of the journey. Doesn't matter how many years pass. That is who they will always be. That is exactly who they will always be. A bullshitter, a nasty motherfucker, a jealous motherfucker, somebody who talks their life up. They'll talk their life up and be like, oh, you know, I had it real good. I had it really good. You know, oh my God, you know, I have such good finances. I have a good house. I have a good home. I have a good wife. I have a good husband. They'll talk it up so big. And then the moment that they see anyone else doing good at all, you know, someone else gets a man, or, you know, this could be your best friend. Maybe your best friend sees that you get a man or a woman. They fucking hate it. They spit on you. They spit on your relationship. They disrespect you. They disrespect your partner. They disrespect your children. They disrespect every aspect of you that you love, other than themselves, right? Other than themselves. And you could tell me, you could try to explain to me, well, this person's not self-aware. They just need help. They just need mental help. Da 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 da. This person is self-aware. Oh, they're self-aware. That's why they can take every single gut punch, right? Right back. They can just punch you right in the motherfucking gut, saying the worst and nastiest shit to you, to insult you. They are hyper aware. They are very aware of what they're saying and what they are doing. When you have blackout anger, right? Keep this in mind for the ones in the back that don't believe in like mental health and that. When you have blackout anger, or you're bipolar, or you have BPD, which, you know, that I'm someone who has borderline. When you're somebody like that, when you're angry, you don't just go blurting anything out, right? But at the same time, right, you can tell when somebody is blacking out versus when someone is sound of mind. When someone is blacking out at you, usually they're very, very emotional. Very, very emotionally crazy, right? Very, very, whether they're crying, whether they're red in the face, whether, there's some type of physical reaction there, right? A physical reaction. And their heart's beating fast, and, they're just, like I said, there's all these physical reactions. When you're dealing with someone who's a narcissist, who's a pig, right? They don't have any physical reactions, but them beady little fucking black eyes. Them beady ass, nasty ass eyes. Them beady, nasty eyes, right? There's nothing about that person that shows that they're emotionally there at all. They just have that nasty little grimy look on their fucking face. Them beady ass, nasty ass eyes. Y'all, if you ever are dealing with a messed up situation where you feel like somebody is lying, or someone is cheating, or somebody is, doing something behind your back, the tell is always on their face. It is always there. Whether they're avoiding your stare, avoiding your glare, whether they're trying to walk out the door before you even finish having a conversation, or they're trying to be dismissive, act tough, or, start overworking it. Overacting is what I like to call it. Yeah, I used this term earlier when I was talking to somebody. It's overacting. They're acting like something they're not, right? They're acting so out of character for you that it's almost stupid. It's almost fucking stupid. You're like, what the? Like, that's not you. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? Like, I've never ever heard you talk like that. I've never ever heard you act like that. That's not you. That's not in your character. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this shit. What the fuck? Right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. Watch how fast this bitch switch up. It's very, very, very funny to me that a lot of people are like, how do I know if he's lying to me? How do I know if she's doing this and doing this behind my back? Watch. You need to, instead of running this right here, running your big fat mouth, your big beautiful mouth, you need to stop, look, listen, and control yourself. Watch the way that person be acting. Have a civil conversation with them, and hear the stress and the anger and the guilt behind the person's voice, the look on their face when their shit goes pale. You know what I mean? Pale and beady little black eyes. Like I said, look for the shit. It's always there. I always know when someone's fucking lying to me. I always do. I always know when somebody is trying to get over on me and trying to treat me a certain type of way. Right? I always know that. Okay, I always know. And it's not because I'm intuitive. It's because I'm observing. It's because I watch. I watch for a bitch to misstep. I watch for that shit, right? I always be watching. It's all within the face. It's all within the face. You got to trust that. Like, it's not about always trusting intuition. Sometimes it's literally trusting what you're seeing. Trust what you see. It's right there in plain motherfucking sight. What's confusing about that, right? What is confusing? Why do you need to ask 25 different readers? Why do you need to ask 25 different spiritualists on what they think on a situation when literally you have all the telltale signs right then and there? Right? Some of y'all are like all evidence-based. It's like sometimes, like I said, the evidence is just within the person itself. You don't need, like, to pick up someone's dirty panties to know if someone's cheating. You don't need to pick up someone's dirty drawers in order to know if they're sleeping with another person. You just don't. You just don't. You just don't. Dude, it's all it entails. It is. And that's why this person's so mad at you. That's why this person is so uptight. They can't believe that you are the one calling them out. They thought they played you the best. They thought they played you like a motherfucking PlayStation, bitch. That's what they thought. That's genuinely what they thought. They thought they had you wrapped around their dick or their pussy, right? That you was just going to avoid, even questioning them, right? I think every time that you question somebody, you're likely the type to actually shut down instead of getting angry, right? And that's the thing, right? When we're in relationships, or we want companionship, we don't want to be mad. We don't want to raise our voice and to yell and scream. We're past that because we're grown, right? We're grown. We're grown people with grown responsibilities. Grown conversations need to happen, right? And we're not always trying to be uptight. But when something just ain't fit, trust and believe. That makes you angry. You blow the fuck up. You run your mouth. And then you don't hear what this person is saying. You don't hear the evading and the avoiding, the evasive nature, right? So some of y'all, it's a matter of controlling your motherfucking anger. And the moment you start doing that, you'll start hearing the bitching, moaning, and whining about how sorry this person is, or about how, oh, you always think I'm doing this or doing the most or doing this. And it's like, you see the look on their face. It's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Them beady little black eyes, y'all, and that everything just washes out from them. That's why when a bitch, okay, those of you that don't already kind of know this, right? When you dealing with somebody, right, and say you are suspicious of something they're doing, not within that moment. It's not always within the moment where like, oh, I think this person is cheating on me within the moment, right? Specifically, when you just find somebody to be acting strange and you call them on the phone, right? You can't see their face. It's not the fact that you can't see what they're doing. You can't see their face. When you're texting somebody all angry and all, like, oh, you did this and this and this, like putting the blame on somebody, you literally could make a fucking video. Just go into a video call, bitch. Or talk to this person in person. You're like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt a bitch. I'm afraid I'm going to slap this person across their face. You need to see their face to know what's going on. To really feel that in your system. To really embody that shit. You need to see their face. I'm telling you. It is telltale signs. Always. They always give themselves away. In person. Or on the fucking phone, bitch. On the video. Just go on the video. It's not that hard, but no, open up a fucking Zoom or whatever you gotta do. Call a bitch, dude. Call a bitch and look at them. Look them right there in their beady ass eyes. I just wanted to see what they were gonna say about the situation, and all they keep saying is 100%, 100%, 100%. That's what's up. That's what's up. They're coming from a higher power, so there is someone watching over you for sure. Some of y'all, it's a Leo or a Sagittarius watching over you. There's a person, granny or grandpa. That's what they be talking about. It's granny or grandpa. So they talk about a Sagittarius or a Leo or a fire sign here, or someone who had a very, very big personality, but they could also keep it on the DL. Maybe someone who did like something shady. I think this person did some shady things in life. Not that the shady things were necessarily like criminal, but they definitely played a good, I think, detective, right? And what this person is trying to teach you is patience. Patience enough not to deal with someone's bullshit, but to also like watch what's happening and trust what's being told to your eyes. To your eyes. Just to your eyes alone. It's not always about what the trickle down effect of what everyone else is telling you, right? Because the family could be telling you one thing and the friends could be telling you another thing about a person. Like, oh, you should trust this person. They seem so kind and sweet. They're attractive. They're this way. They're that way. You'll never get an opportunity like this again. And then the friend be telling you that's a dirty, disgusting, cheating piece of lying piece of shit right there, nasty ass motherfucker. That to me, right, is untrustworthy. Both of those groups of people, no matter how much you love them, they always think they know what's in your best interest, and they try to control and manipulate the situation into their favor, no matter what, right? Because they want, technically, majority of people want all their love, all of somebody's love for them to themselves. Okay, and that is just the truth. Okay, some people get jealous over you having another connection. Okay, and it's a healthy jealous though. And there's a difference between how this narcissist is acting this fake ass bitch is acting, and how somebody who is simply, like I said, loves you, has your best interest in their heart, but at the same time can't remove themselves from the equation, right? Jealousy, there's a positive side to some people who are jealous, and it's that they give such a damn about you that they're whistleblowers, right? They'll blow whistles every time they see the person acting a certain type of way. But also, you shouldn't need the friend or the family member or anybody else around you to be telling you that someone is a trick or a trap. You shouldn't need that. You should already have that eye. You know what I mean? After dealing with so much bullshit in your life, you should already know. You just should. It's they talk about how it's easy for you to get brainwashed into not listening to spirit. So it's possible that you're dealing with someone who's also maybe religiously inept or spiritually inept, where they don't believe in it. Reminds me of that song by Eminem, and I don't know if maybe it's a Libra that you're dealing with. You had one chance, one shot. What is it? What is that song, y'all? What is that song by Eminem? You had one chance, one shot. You had one chance, one shot. What is that song? It's gonna piss me the fuck off, and I don't know. I feel like that's like one of the most basic Eminem songs too, and I don't know the shit. Whatever, it is what it is. Whatever that song is, somehow that fits in with how your spirits are, how your angels are. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I have to, y'all. It's driving me crazy. One opportunity, lose yourself. My bad. Like I said, one of the most basic motherfucking songs, and I could not get that shit. I'm gonna turn this on. Hold on. So, come on now. Yeah, that's it. That's the song. Let me look up the lyrics right now too. Thank you. Yeah, one shot. Yeah, one shot. Yourself, Eminem. I gotta see what they be saying to you. Dude, okay, yeah. Okay, in this song, they're explaining and talking about a person, technically somebody who's supposed to be strong, who's supposed to be like the soldier figure, who's supposed to be like this mighty, mighty beast of a man, and how he's trembling and shitting his pants, right? During a moment where he's supposed to be a hard ass nigga, during a moment where he's supposed to be protecting people, this nigga's out here talking big, but he's shitting his pants right in front of you the moment something goes down. The moment something goes down, he out here shitting his pants and puking and pissing himself and shit. Like, they're talking about a real embarrassing motherfucker. Just someone who embarrasses themselves. Some of y'all, it really is another, it's like a family member or something like that. Someone who you thought was family. Someone who you thought was supposed to be on your side. That's what they be talking about. Yeah, he's dope, he knows that, but he's broke, he's so stagnant. Like, they keep talking about this shit. Now that I'm reading the lyrics, I was like, shit, yeah, that is it, though. That is it. That is it. Yeah, you better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss the chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. They know that you are an opportunity that they cannot pass up on. They know that. They know that you were or are an opportunity in their life. Okay? You're not the opportunity for change, but you're someone they can enroach and engross themselves in and take and steal from. You are somebody that they can design themselves after and steal your personality. They know that. They know that they can take from this situation regardless of what you feel, right? Because the sickness and the disease, and I don't even want to take the responsibility away from this person by saying the sickness, right? Because this is something in their mind that they fell under, they fell into. They wasn't cursed, okay? They wasn't, spirit didn't like, try to take them down or nothing like that. They wasn't cursed. They are just a piece of shit. They are just a piece of shit. They chose to be that. I think they had several different branches and paths to go down, and they chose to be a piece of shit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. That's just it. But in this song, they literally talk about a motherfucking coward. Someone who pretends to be strong, who's mouthing off and telling everybody, be like, we gonna go out there and we gonna blow shit up. We gonna go out there, I'm a ride for this person, I'm a ride for that person, oh, she's my main boo, she's my main fan, she's my wifey, she this, she that, but got 5 other females, or he's my thing, he's my baby, he's this, he's that, and it's like she got 20 dudes that she calls the same motherfucking thing, right? It's like, and then when they're confronted though, you see the crying, the tears, the distress, the sadness. It's like you're supposed to be crying, but at the same time you're not crying, you're really just laughing. You're sitting there like, bitch, dude, like, why are you acting like that? Why are you acting so crazy, nigga? Like, shit, all I did was call your ass out. All I did was say, I pointed out the facts. I pointed out when it needed to be pointed out. And yo, bitch ass be over here crying, screaming, yelling, doing this and this and that. And that's why I'm saying, y'all, take away the anger out of the situation and only support the facts. Okay? The fact of the matter is, you do not have to argue facts. You don't have to argue what facts are. There's a difference between facts and delusion. And this person sits on the side of delusion, not facts. So you don't have to argue with a person about their mental state, their mental health, the way they're treating you, the way they're neglecting or abandoning or abusing you. You don't have to state that, right? Because it is a fact. You shouldn't have to argue with this person and butt heads. Because it is just factual. That's what it is. There's no excuses. Because a fact is a fact. It's solid. It's solid. It's set in motherfucking stone. It is well known by everyone around this motherfucker. Everyone around this person. And whether they're the same type of person who supports the bullshit, or the type of person who is so they have the abuse and the neglect and in the disgusting behavior so ingrained in them that they just kind of roll over and accept it. You are not going to be either of those people. Okay? You will not be that. You've already taken accountability for allowing this person to sit in your life on a fucking throne. You have already taken responsibility for maybe looking away from some of the shitty behavior that this person has exhibited, because you, coming from a place of someone who's not perfect, and nobody's ever perfect, right? You coming from a place of feeling like, this person is everything that I want in a man or a woman. This person is everything that I've always wanted to belong in my family. I finally have a sibling. I finally have a brother. I finally have a auntie or a family member. I finally have someone who gives a fuck about me. It's like you chose to believe what your head was saying, what your heart was saying with it. You chose to believe something that just wasn't true. Like I said, you can see facts. You can see facts. You don't have to feel them. You can see them. You can hear them. Use your other motherfucking senses, right? Because you can see and hear the shit. The person is a piece of shit. And how this is going to unfold coming up for some of you is that you don't even really have a decision. You're not going to be able to make this decision on whether you want to keep dealing with them or not. Because Spirit is going to enforce a law on you. And the law is because you are meant for something else, something greater or something better, they will not allow you to continue on with this shit. They won't. They just won't. They will end this shit right here and right now. They will. You won't even get the chance to mourn this bitch. You won't. Okay? You just won't. They gonna end this shit. Because that's what it, like, I keep seeing this thing where it's like, okay, you know, I'm praying to angels, I'm praying for my situation to get better, and yet you keep this person around. This motherfucking leech who just enroaches and fucks the soul right the fuck out of you. It's like they might be fucking you and it might feel good in the moment, but the moment you get done with the shit, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're hurting, you're in pain, you're like, damn, that was really not worth it. That really wasn't motherfucking worth it, or this person really make me sick. Because you was feeding for validation, you know? You got a little greedy with it. You got a little greedy, and you said, you know, even though this person or this situation is shitty, maybe this is what I deserve. And that's greedy as a motherfucker. Because you know for a fact that you're worth more than that. You know for a fact that you're worth more than that. That you're worth something greater and something better. You already know that. You keep playing with it. You keep playing with this idea that, oh, you know, I have a gift, but I'm not really going to use it because that's not how you make money. That's not how you make time. That's not how you make a family. That's not how you do this. Who's to say that isn't how you are meant to make a family? Who's to say that this isn't the path for you? You know, that you're not supposed to be a psychic or a musician or an actor or an actress. It's like, oh, okay, you know, it's the top 1% that gets into these situations and actually makes money off of it. Who's to say you are not supposed to be a part of the top 1%? Who's saying that? Like, I'm being real. When you go out there and you're exercising your gifts, or, you know, you're out here in, you know, doing your thing, singing, making music, making songs, or, you know, you're speaking for a living, you're talking, or you're a comedian, who's out here telling you that you can't do that and be successful? Because the only person that you should be trusting with that type of information is yourself. The only person who should be telling you not to do something is you. Especially when you're trying to deal with a dirty ass narcissistic bitch trying to micromanage and control everything. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut your nasty ass up. Your dirty mouth up. Beady ass eyes. Like I said, beady as a motherfucker. Always having to do drugs in order to act like a living human being, a living human part of society. Shit is disgusting. It's gross. When they're really a fucking wild ass animal with no tame, no calm at all. Male or female. Because trust and believe, you know, ladies like to come onto my channel, and all the respect in the world, I love y'all, but ladies like to come onto my channel and be like, men are like this, right? Oh yes, it's all men, it's all women, or and then the man will come on here and be like, look at all these toxic ass women, right? Realize that by framing everyone a certain way in a particular group of people, that you are also a part of the problem, right? You are also a part of the problem. Realize that by framing every single person like that, that you are part of the problem. You are. You attract that energy because it's what you want. You want motherfuckers around you to be dirty, disgusting, and gross. You want that. Whether you might be saying like, well, you know, I don't know why I attract so many toxic energies and this and this and that. You want that shit. Because subconsciously, you keep telling yourself, everyone around me is a toxic, disgusting human being. While the majority, it might be true, but at the end of the day, you are attracting that type of energy because that's exactly the type of shit that you're looking for. You know that. Instead of looking for love, commitment, affection, you like to look for the drama. You like to look for disgusting men or disgusting women. because you view yourself in a certain light. You like it. You like the motherfucking drama. That's why you refuse to sever off the soul tie. That's why you refuse to sever off this person who's still trying to dance in your motherfucking energy. Who's still on your mind. Draining you. Like this shit was negative and nasty from the beginning. And you knew that. And you still pulled it on. Yeah. And they keep talking about, well, you know, I've never been lucky. You know, I've never been lucky to find a man or find a woman who was right for me. I've never been lucky to have a family who cared about me. I've never been lucky. It doesn't take luck. It takes intelligence, bitch. It does not take luck. It doesn't take spirits it doesn't take spirits manifesting their shit for you. It doesn't take that. It takes intelligence. It takes a motherfucking brain, bitch. So if you're really out here trying to say that certain peoples are more lucky than others, right? You're lucky you got this treatment. You get lucky you got that. You are privileged enough to have this treatment and that treatment. You are dumber than a sack of motherfucking rocks. Because it does not take luck. It takes intelligence. It does. And skill. It's a skill to benefit from life. It is. It's a skill in general to benefit from life. Because we're fed bullshit. We are fed constantly, every moment of every single day, we're constantly fed other people's bullshit. We are fed this idea that we have to be a certain way, act, talk a certain way, love a certain way, fuck a certain way even. Like you can't even fuck the way you want to because people be watching too much motherfucking porn, right? And making it out to be that type of situation. You can't even have intimacy in your own way because they want something else that apparently everybody else has. Apparently millions of other people have, right? Instead of just wanting something simplistic, minimalist, right there in front of you, right? This shit is crazy. It's absolutely fucking insane. It really is. It really is. Because we can deny ourselves happiness 24/7 and somehow feel satisfied with that. That's the craziest part. And yes, okay, we were born in a time where self-esteem is at its lowest, where people don't even feel like people, where people have problems fitting into society, intimately, identity-wise, emotionally. But look in the motherfucking mirror. You're not that ugly. You can't be that motherfucking ugly. Especially if you're getting attention from other people. Especially if I'm reading you right now and I see that you have people out here for you, gunning for you, angelically, spiritually, gunning for you. You can't be that much of a dumb bitch, right? I'm being for real when I say life and finding a partner, finding a family, finding something that satisfies you and makes you feel comfortable in life, it does not take luck. It takes intelligence. It takes the brains, okay? That also means emotional intelligence, so it takes the heart too. But we be talking about true intelligence. And I just do not feel like that if you're dealing with a situation and you continue to push this narrative that somehow this situation is going to grow better, get better, just magically overnight. I'm manifesting it. I'm manifesting that it's going to get better. I can't convince even myself that you are an intelligent being. And then it would be like, and then the victims will be like, oh yeah, I know, I am stupid. You're right. I'm stupid for dealing with this. But they don't really think that, right? And that's the key. Whoever I'm calling out right now, that's the key. They don't really believe that they're stupid. They know they're selling themselves short. They know they're selling on themselves. They know they're treating themselves like shit. They like it. So don't get tricked by those people that be saying like, oh my god, like you're right, I'm so fucking stupid. Don't get tricked by that shit. They know what they're doing is wrong. They're intelligent enough to know that. That's why they say I'm so fucking stupid. But they make every excuse in the world to try to not move on from this addiction that they want negativity. They want everlasting nastiness. They want drama. They want to matter to somebody. And they want to matter to someone so much that it destroys them. Destroys their whole life. Okay? I don't know, you know, I understand a certain type of sadism, certain type of masochism. But what I don't understand is how we include that into our everyday experience, right? Okay, sexually, right? You know, when you're dealing with your partner, why don't we just leave that in that shit in the bedroom and stop being so sadistic or masochistic in actual reality and actual life? That just doesn't make sense, because that's a whole fantasy. That's a whole fantasy. You're selling yourself a fantasy. It's fake. It's fake. You're fake as fuck for feeling that way. You're like, well, at least I could admit it. But you're admitting that you're stupid. Do you understand? You're literally admitting the problem. And you're admitting that you're a dumbass. That you're fucked in the head and you're stupid. It's not about IQ no more. You know, it's also about emotional intelligence in today's society. And you are admitting to yourself that you are part of the problem and not a part of the solution. That you are stupid. And then people will also say, well, you know, at least they're admitting it. You know, it's okay because that's the first step. But nobody ever takes the second step or the third step or the fourth step in the last step. They never take those steps. And that's how you make a narcissist, dude. That's how you make a narcissist. You enable and allow them to sit there to play you like a motherfucking deck of playing cards and say, oh, I'll get better, or I'll change, or no, I know I'm stupid, I know I'm bad, I know I'm negative, you know, oh, you know, I'm gonna deal with this person because at least they're genuine. They're genuine for saying that they're a cheating, lying sack of shit. They're genuine for saying that they are abusive, negative, and that they have a problem with impulse, and that they're an alcoholic, and that they're a pill popper. That makes them a good person, though. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Are you fucking joking me, dude? Well, you know, they admit that they have mental illness, though they don't get help for it. You know, they admit it, you know, at least they admit it. Most people wouldn't even admit it. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Some of the dumbest sacks of monkey fucking shit. And that's what's hilarious about it. Truly, genuinely, that's what's hilarious about it. It's like we can only feign that whole like young existence where it's like, oh, I was young and dumb. We can only feign that for so long before it's just embarrassing. And you wonder why people lie about their adult lives and try to be like, oh, my marriage is so happy. Oh my God, you know, oh my God, I have such a good relationship with my parents or my children. You wonder why people be lying every single motherfucking day about their personal lives. It's because they are embarrassed, because they no longer have the excuse of saying, oh, well, you know, I'm young and dumb, or, you know, I'm young and dumb. I'm learning the ropes as I go. They never ever motherfucking learn. They never learn. That's the embarrassing part. So don't be, if you're still young right now, right? You're in your 20s, you're 19, you're 18, or even under that. You shouldn't be watching my channel, but do not be that bitch who uses I was young or I am young as an excuse for the rest of their life. I am too young to treat someone with love and respect. I am too young to give somebody what they deserve. I am too young to get into a relationship where I feel wanted, where I feel like I am the only one, where I feel satisfied and comfortable and emotionally happy. Do not deny yourself of that, regardless of age. Do not deny yourself. If that is what if you are going out into this world looking for a relationship, right? Regardless of whether it's, you know, short term, long term, whatever, right? I don't really want to be with this person for a year, so, you know, honestly, I'm just gonna bullshit it. Don't bullshit it. Learn from it. Don't bullshit it. Learn from it. And maybe you'll learn, whether you know, maybe you really do only want a year relationship or a 2-year relationship or a 5-year relationship with this person. You'll learn that through the experience with them. You will. You'll learn how to be yourself. Not from mimicking or mirroring this person, but from knowing what you want. and actually expressing that emotionally and verbally, saying, I don't want that, or I want that. I don't want you to treat me like I am just a piece of crap. I don't want you to call me out by my name. I want you to love me for who I am. I want you to accept my heart and my love, even though my love might be hard. It might be hard. I might love you really hard. I might suffocate you sometimes. I might be clingy, I might be a distant lover. I might be someone who's distant. But I want you to trust me and love me for who I am. That's what I want. Even at a young age, right? That is what you should be looking for. Not something to play with, fun to eat, fun to stick something in and walk or run away. Fun to pop that pussy on them. But then, when it comes down to the serious bits, to just ignore someone's emotions, invalidate them, and make them feel like shit. We are creating narcissists. We are. We do. We do this. We create narcissists. Right? By telling your child that it's okay to disrespect somebody that they're in a relationship with when they're young. By exhibiting the behavior in parental relationships, setting that precedent for the child, going into school, right? Dealing with social relationships, teaching them how to not be, basically. Teaching them how to be an ignorant piece of actual shit. Teaching your child to distrust everybody, right? Make other kids feel like shit. Make them feel invalidated, like they feel at home when they're around you and your, shitty husband, or your shitty wife, your abusive situation that you refuse to leave out of selfishness, not out of care for the child. Well, two needs to play a part in this situation. Listen, two ain't shit when y'all can't even stay within the same vicinity with each other around the child. Two ain't shit. You're basically absent. You might as well walk away. You might as well leave. You might as well leave, bitch. Your relationship is fake as fuck. And that is what you're teaching your child. How to be fake as fuck. To slip off the ring, when things are going bad. To slip off the ring when your relationship isn't what you want. But still continue to deal with that person on a daily basis. Or still continue to yell and scream and fight and throw the person out of the house. People don't care about their kids. They didn't care about you. They didn't care about you. Your parents didn't give a fuck about you. And like I said, you know who you are. Who I'm talking to, you know who you are. Okay? This doesn't have to be about everybody. This is about a certain type of group of people, right? They didn't give a fuck about you. They didn't. They might now, and they might love you and care about you now, and they might actually realize and they might try to tell you, I was wrong, right? They might try to say these types of things, right? But when you are putting somebody into this world, knowing that you struggle with commitment, with relationships, with love, with intimacy, with embracing connections that are good for you, with healthy behavior, knowing that you are denying your child all of those things. You cannot do better for them until you do better for yourself. You cannot do better until you do better for yourself. You just can't. That's not how it works. There's no double standard for, my parents treated me like shit. My lovers treated me like shit. Now I'm having a child, and I've learned from those mistakes. That's not how it works. Now I'm having a child, or now I knocked a bitch up, and I learned from all that. It doesn't take you simply saying I learned. It takes you actually going through the process of mourning, grieving, dealing with a situation emotionally, tackling that shit verbally, right? And then think about having a child. Think about that step. And you should be scared. You should be afraid of having another child or having a child. You should be afraid until you tackle those problems. You should stay afraid and stay away. Do not put your child in this world knowing that you can't love yourself and get with anybody who loves you either. Sometimes, like I said, people describe like stumbling on a relationship or a marriage as luck. And that is such a trigger, dude. Because you know how much work it takes to get there in order to match a person's energy and to stay into a commitment with them for many motherfucking years, and to make that connection work, how much communication and work you had to do, how much emotional satisfaction that you had to achieve with yourself before you even dealt with a person on that level of commitment. Do you know how much heavy energy and strength that it takes in order to satisfy another person and also have them return that to you? That is not an easy thing. That is not a lucky thing. It is not. It's not. It takes real and actual intelligence, emotionally, right? Verbally, communication wise, mentally. There's a whole process behind it. So let me rear back to the main message. We're gonna draw a couple cards because I just want to see how are these situations going to end up. I'm just gonna pull a couple and see what they say, because I know a lot of people that resonated with this reading also resonated with the aspect of growing up, where you're now slowly and suddenly learning that it wasn't just you who felt abandoned or felt used or abused in your connection or your relationship. You're learning that it's starting to pass on to some of your children. You're learning that you can't prevent it from passing on to your children because you never dealt with it. You're learning that you are responsible for some of this behavior that they are exhibiting. You are learning that. And some of you are the children of those people, and you have yet to have a child. You're afraid of having a child. And I'm saying that's a good thing, because until you are no longer afraid of yourself, loving yourself, embracing yourself, cherishing yourself, you should not be bringing anyone into your situation. If you're still dealing with a toxic piece of shit who ain't never ever treated you better, if you're still dealing with those on and off relationships, very flaky, right? Very flaky. And you shouldn't even be thinking about it. You shouldn't. We talk about the fake shit, and we talk about people who have that ideology that, everything will be good as long as we get married, as long as we get together and we cement the marriage, as long as we have a baby, everything will get better. Like, that shit is crazy, though. That shit is really crazy, how you're bringing a whole other human being and responsibility into a situation that it literally has nothing to do with the issue at hand. The issue is not that he hasn't offered you a ring yet. The issue is not that she hasn't given you a baby yet. The issue is that the person is fake as fuck. They lie to you. They cheat on you. They blindside you by offering you bigger and more things, right? Whether it's material things, like I said, a rock on your motherfucking finger, a fucking, somehow they're affording a whole entire venue for a marriage, or they're asking you, they're bending on one knee in front of everybody, making you blush and make you cry and shit. They're doing some crazy shit, right? Or if it's a person who's buying you a house or a car, they doing that shit to cover what's really going on. They doing that shit to shock you, to blindside you, to make you feel special, because they know they're making someone else feel special behind the scenes. They know they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing behind the scenes. I got like a kind of a funny story. Not really funny. It's not really funny. I'm not even laughing. But I got kind of a thing in the back of my mind that kind of told me about this story where I was watching something. I think I was probably watching like Steve Wilkos or something like that, right? And there was this relationship that I saw with this mother and this daughter. And this mother, she supported the daughter's abuser, right? The daughter's abuser being her husband. She supported the daughter's abuser and chose to trust him over trusting her own daughter, trusting her own flesh and blood, trusting somebody who literally had never ever done anything wrong, really, other than be born, right? Other than be her daughter, right? And I remember my reaction to it. I was repulsed. I was so repulsed, and I was so sick. That day, I remember I was having already such a shitty day, and when I watched that episode, I felt so fucking repulsed at the behavior that I saw, right? And for some reason, that story comes up into play into my head, is that whether it was sexual or physical or verbal abuse, it was still abuse, and you still never ever got the satisfaction of having someone tell you that you were not at fault. It was not your fault. And that is something that I think plays into this really, really heavy of choosing these relationships with very broken women or broken men. That you were not believed at a young age. You were not trusted at a young age. No matter how many times you would tell somebody that you were being hurt, nobody would believe you, or they would brush it off and say that it's normal, right? And I want to bring that to the table real quick and say that that was fucked up. That was not okay. That is not how love should be. Love should not be avoidant. Love should not be, terrifying and neglectful. You should not feel afraid or anxious around your partner. Those things are not normal. Okay? What you was taught as normalcy growing up in your family was not normal. That was not normal. That shit was disgusting. It was nasty, but it was your life. It was your life. And so we can't simplify that. When you're telling these partners that you're coming across, or these lovers, or the person you're married to, this is how I was treated. What do they tell you? What do they say to you? Do they tell you and let you know that it's okay, baby? Like, it's okay that, it's okay that you're here in my arms right now. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to cry. It's okay to for now be afraid, but I hope you can trust me. I hope you can love me. I hope you can learn to love me. I'll give you the time and the space necessary and needed to grow past this. Like, to have somebody like that is so important. And you didn't get that. And you have not gotten that yet. And I want to make sure that moving forward, that you are going to look for people who have that type of personality. They have that type of heart, right? Not a cold and distant man, a cold and distant woman, overly domineering woman, or an overly domineering man, or a controlling person who tries to control your feelings, control your trauma, right? Control everything about you. Just get rid of that idea in your head that you need to be controlled, that your emotions need to be under control. You can be emotional. You could be the craziest bitch in the world and still love somebody right. You can be. You can be the fucking craziest bitch on this motherfucking planet. The most ride or die possessive bitch on the motherfucking market. And still treat your partner with love and respect. Just know that boundaries are also involved with it, right? Boundaries across both sides of the relationship, both sides of the connection. Right? So, invalidation is something that I feel like right now is happening in your life, with your partners, with your parents, with everybody around you, where you don't feel heard, You don't feel grounded. You feel like everything that's happened to you is just simply, I guess, happens to everybody else. So, why not you? You feel very trivial, like it's very trivial, a very trivial part of your life. And I want to make sure that you know that it wasn't trivial. It was disgusting. It was nasty. It was not supposed to happen. You didn't do anything to garner that type of response from your parents and your growing up. You did not do anything to earn that. That is not how you should have been treated, right? And sick people, I don't mean sick in a means where they're unaware. I mean sick, fucked up, nasty ass, grimy ass people who take advantage of the situation. That is who you was dealing with. Whether it was the parent who supported the person who abused you, or the parent who just let it slip under the motherfucking rug, it wasn't right. And you have every single right to still be mad, to still be angry, to still have strife, to still be emotional, to still detest and hate those people. Hate. And I mean hate with capital H. Everyone thinks hate is such a bad thing, but hate is not. It's a part of your emotional response. It's something that you have to acknowledge as a human being, that you are going to not like people. You're going to like people, and you're going to not like people, and you're going to hate people. Take it up, step it up a notch. You're going to tolerate people. You're going to fucking hate certain people's existences, whether they had done you wrong or not, or whether they had done someone else something immoral or unjust. You're going to hate people, and you're going to love people, right? That's all a part of the building blocks, the structure. And that is something that you need to continue to reaffirm to yourself. That is not bad to hate. It is just like it is not bad to love. They're both very extreme emotions. They stem from the same motherfucking thing, though, is that you are a human being. We are meant to have extreme emotions. Now, are we meant to fly off the handle and, do something stupid? Hurt somebody? No. No, we're not. That would make all of that abuse and neglect that you've been through okay, right? No, you're not allowed to do that to somebody. Okay? But what you are allowed to do is feel your emotions. You are allowed to cry, bawl your motherfucking eyes out, get angry, and get mad. But my suggestion is to feel these emotions for yourself and by yourself. Whatever you have to do during that moment by yourself personally, in order to go through the full throes, and as uncomfortable as it is, right? Nobody has to see you. Remember that. Nobody has to be around you or see you when you're doing this. Though if you do have a partner, it is healthy to discuss these emotions and to discuss these feelings and not hide them, right? It is very important. You also have every right in the world to also feel them for yourself and be by yourself when you feel them. Every single scenario that you've dealt with up until now, telling you that your emotions were invalid, that you're too angry, that you're too dominant, that you're too much of a bitch, or you're too distant, or too shady, or your emotions, they're all out of check, they're all out of whack, and I don't know why you get so angry, and da 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 da. Every single scenario where you have been told that your emotions are too much, I'm telling you they're not. They're not. Unless you have physically harmed somebody, physically really hurt somebody, or done something neglectful, your emotions are not too much. They are normal. It is a normal response. It really is. It's just normal. So stop trying to sever off that emotional connection that you have with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, with your past. Stop trying to do that. That is not going to make you a better person by ignoring the fact that you were wrong, that you were hurt, that you were neglected. We are meant, it's not that we are always just meant to learn from certain things. It'd be kind of fucked up to say that you went through it to learn from it, right? Maybe, right? This is something that you had gone through, but you can teach others how to deal with it and not to deal with it, right? Because sometimes fucked up things repeat themselves in your family life, in your friend's life, into somebody you care about, right? Until someone you love. Sometimes, even though we hate it, we hate the thought of it, and have to normalize being hurt, molested, raped, assaulted, beat on, whether it's by a man or a woman that you're dealing with, right? Your girlfriend, you're a male, and your girlfriend be trying to whoop your ass, and you can't hit her back and shit like that. Like, that is, those things should not be normalized ever. Ever. And so when people are telling you that type of shit, where it's like, oh, that happened to me too, that's all okay, it passed down the line, it happened to me too, but you just gotta deal with it. That's not true. Your emotions on that situation still today are valid. They are. Your hatred is valid. Your love for the people that, even though they hurt you, even though they fucked with you, and you still love them, that is also valid. Those two emotions can exist together. All right. One thing I will say about this collective group is that there is such a strong, like, emotional pull with y'all. It's so hard, because I think that you want to act like you don't care, but you really do care. Like, you really, really, really do care. You really do, like, want the situation to improve and get better. You really don't want to continue to deal with this cycle. You really want to move on. You really do love. That's like the one thing I see too as a repetition. It's not that you don't care. You care so much that you don't even know how to put that shit into words sometimes. So, and that's what I see repetitively with this group, is that you love so much, and at times you're so fucking forgiving because of that, how strong that emotional conscience is. It takes you over. It allows you to overlook certain behaviors that you should not be sitting down and dealing with. You should not be just the fucking dartboard to everyone's life, right? And people, keep in mind, y'all, people are always going to be scared of your love. They're always going to tell you it's too much for them, right? They're always going to be afraid of you. But the moment that you start dealing with people of similar mindset, when you start dealing with a man or a woman with a similar mindset, you will realize they will not ever judge you. Ever. Like I said, no matter how clingy you are, no matter how fucking crazy or possessive you are, right? There are still people who are crazier than a shithouse rat, who still can be capable of being responsible and loving and committed in a relationship. There is. Really. Relationships that last forever, without ever falling apart, or having someone step outside, or having somebody, walk off and do whatever they want, take off their ring at the end of the night type shit. There are relationships that exist like that, and it's not luck that brings those people together. It is not luck. And as much as I love to say it's spirit, it is not. It is emotional intelligence, knowing yourself better than anyone else. Knowing what bullshit that you should never, ever, ever, as a human being, as a person, be putting up with. To lead as an example for yourself, for your kids, for, even your siblings, right? To lead as an example. To validate yourself. Alright, I'm going to pull out 3 cards here. 3 cards. What's going to happen for my collective? Oh, the men and women in this collective are so refreshing. I love this. I love y'all. Come on now, y'all. I'm gonna pull out a couple more just because I love the men and women in this collective. Wow. Wild and untamed growth is what kind of what they're talking about here. They're talking about how karma, first of all, right? Karma is not always meant to punish people. Karma isn't always meant as a learning opportunity either. Karma just simply is stating fact, right? Sometimes karma is simply seeing shit as it is. Nobody but you can remove that veil. Spirit can't even remove that veil. Keep that in mind. There's people who shut out spirit and tune down their intuition all the time, trying to tell themselves that something isn't happening when it is happening. Trying to tell themselves that their mind is playing tricks on them, even though it's not, right? So I'm saying, like, karma is an aspect where sometimes it's as simple as just seeing your truth, waking up one day and deciding, this isn't what I want. Nobody's telling you to do that but you. Nobody's deciding that but you. Nobody can say no to this relationship. Nobody can walk away from this relationship except for you. You are a whole. You are not a half a person. You are not a broken person. I hate when people call themselves broken. That is a huge trigger for me, because at the end of the day, you are not broken. You are normal. You are whole. It is just simply the fact that you have to believe that. You have to believe that. You have to find that within yourself. We're all born whole. We aren't born in pieces and in parts. We just aren't. We have a whole fucking brain. We have a whole heart. Like, we aren't born in pieces. We are born whole. We are just trying to find that whole. And sometimes trying to find that can be taxing. It can be tiring. You can want to give up. You can want to give up on life itself, You can want to give up on the struggle, because sometimes the struggle doesn't feel like it's worth it. But the moment we start saying those things, and the moment we start, almost like the moment we dip into negativity, then suddenly there's this whole entire boom of positivity that walks into your life. And that is what I'm seeing. So we have the Justice card. Justice in the upright. She is one of my favorites. Just because, first of all, look how sad she should be looking, right? But also, this woman has no doubts in her mind that her shit is about to pop up. This woman has no doubts in her mind that one, spirit has her back. Two, she's going to be able to get through this, whatever this fucked up phase is. She's going to be able to fucking do it. Doesn't matter how sick and fucked up she is. Doesn't matter how emotional she is. It doesn't matter how hard her situation is. No matter what, she's saying, I'm going to get through this. It's going to happen. It don't fucking matter what anyone else tries to do to me. I'm going to get through this. Now, you might not be unscathed, but you will get through this. The worst thing that you can say to yourself in this type of situation is no. It's hard because you are so built and designed to be a family-oriented person. You are built to love. Like that is something that you are built to do. So it's so hard for you to hate. So hard for you to say that you hate somebody. Even when you say it like, you're like, well, I hate you. You don't even mean that shit. You are literally a person who is built to love. Not to just, I'm not saying you're just built to give and give and give. I'm not saying that. You need returns as well. You need someone else to love you as well. When people are like, I just give to, I've seen grandparents do this often, right? Like very self-sacrificial, especially if you were raised by your grandparents. I was raised by mine. So I understood this very well, right? Even though they were unhappy with their lives, even though, there was so many different situations where, we had to struggle together as a family. And they wanted life to be different, but could never ever achieve that, but still kept us afloat, right? Still pushed and strived to have some sense of normalcy in our lives as children, right? But I realize this a lot is this self-sacrificial behavior of people who love. They love so much. They're willing to literally give up anything and everything to love. When in reality, there's just certain situations, it doesn't deserve that love. It doesn't deserve that type of attention. It doesn't deserve that type of commitment. It has never earned that from you, right? Well, I'm free. I'm just gonna love whoever I want. At the end of the day, I'll love you no matter what. But it's like when somebody has basically shat on your love your whole entire life, or shat on your love the whole entire relationship, made you feel bad for loving in the way that honestly brings light to people's lives. Like you not only is this person a fucking liar, they're also trying to tell you, oh, see, my Wi-Fi be cutting out, because they'll be like, okay, roll it up, y'all, roll up. Not only does this person lie to you and try to tell you that you're not doing the right thing, they also try to manipulate you into being a shitty person, and it's just not in your code. You are just not built that way. You aren't. You are not built that way. Whether it's genetically, whether it's something that you learn through life itself, through environment, you are just not built like that. You are not built to struggle between love and hate. You are just not built that way. You are not that type of character. I'm sorry to say, I know some of y'all would be like, oh, well, I say to myself, I hate people all the time. It's because what you hate is not the person, and it's not the people. What you hate is always giving and never feeling the return. Though you don't blame people for that. That's the funniest part. It's kind of like a constant cycle. You don't blame them for that because they never had it, or never got shown it, and never got taught it. You also still can't help but to feel just a little bit selfish. And it's not, I'm being sarcastic when I say it's selfishness, because you do deserve all of that love to be returned back to you. But you still have that human part of you, because you are not just an angel who loves on people, who just gives and gives and gives and manifests for other people. You still have that part of you that says, where's mine? Where's mine? And I see that coming towards you. Some of y'all are like, oh, that ain't never gonna happen, or I'm not even in the position, You might not be in the position right this second, right now. But by the end of this year, there is immense change happening in your life to do with family dynamic, to do with the dynamic that you have between your partners, your lovers. Immense change. And I'm not going to lie to you when I say when the going gets tough, it's going to get even harder. When you start dealing with these emotions that you've been covering up for your whole entire life because people told you to, because people told you it was normal, and that it happens, right? It just happens. 90% of women deal with this, and 80% of men deal with this, and men have to sit there and be invalidated, and women are emotional creatures who need to be told to shut the fuck up, or stop crying, or buckle up, or you're never going to be accepted in this world because you're too much of a crybaby bitch, or you're this way, you're that way. Like, all of those sayings are going to be you need to comb through those. Comb through what was told to you, and how much of a motherfucking stank ass, dirty ass lie that shit was. What type of lie these people had told you throughout your whole entire motherfucking life about who you were, how you were supposed to be, how you were supposed to eat, how you're supposed to sleep, dress, comb your hair, braid your hair, how you were supposed to be. They told you before you even had the chance to know who you were, how you were meant to be. They didn't know who the fuck that you were. They don't even know themselves. You're going to need to comb through all of them. Like I said, all of the insults, all of the horrible, fucked up situations you had to deal with. You're going to need to cry about them, get mad over them. To feel all the emotions that you decided to basically cement over. That's homework, right? That's homework. But I'm telling y'all can do it in these next 4 months. You can. I know you can finish this shit up this year. I know you can. Because no matter what, you still love. You still love. I know you motherfucking can. You know, so when people try to tell me that, oh, you know, everyone mourns differently and everybody has this process, that process. Well, I do agree with everybody having coping mechanisms. I also agree that with consistent work, you will see signs of your life and in certain mindsets, in certain things improving. You will see that instantly. You will have instant gratification. As long as you are being consistent and pounding that shit right into your motherfucking head constantly. Right? You're working on that shit every single day. You're combing through it and tackling it. You're combing through it and tackling. As long as you're doing that shit every single motherfucking day. You make that shit your motto. You do that shit 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, an hour, 5 hours. And that's a lot of it. That's a lot, but you know, you still gotta work too and do this and do that. But I'm saying, you will see improvement, and it will not be slow. Like I said, 4 months ain't shit. Time does not mean a motherfucking thing. Not to me, and it shouldn't matter to you on this. Well, it's taken me so long to trust and so long to do this and so. Time should not mean a motherfucking thing to you. As long as you pound this shit into your head every single day. You comb through all of these things and feel them out. Well, you know, today I was so stressed out, you know, I couldn't sit down and deal with this, and oh my God, like the anger, like I just didn't want to get mad. I didn't want to flip out on people and this and that, and you know, I just didn't feel comfortable with dealing with this person who'd be talking to me like this and talking to me like that. And I had to suppress myself. I had to suppress myself in order to act normal around people, because I felt like I was going to break down at work. I felt like I was going to have that mental breakdown right at work. Have that mental breakdown down at work. If you feel like you do not have the time to mourn and deal with the things of your past, the things that were done to you as a child, the things that you continue to repeat to yourself on a daily basis, and the reason why you continue to deal with these negative ass monkey motherfuckers, stupid ass people, people who base their whole entire life off of lies and impulsion, then you best be mourning that shit at work. You best be crying your motherfucking eyes out at work. I'm not saying you grab a bottle and you be knocking them back at work, but I'm saying you best be sitting there minding your damn business, right? Doing that shit at work. Because you might tell me, you might come back and tell me, but like, Coach, I'm trying so hard, but I don't have the time. I never have the time. The fuck? Did you just say to me? Of course you fucking do. Of course you do. You just don't want society to see you in a certain way. And some of y'all are like, well, I just don't want to be fired. But it's like, why would you want to be in a cage, though? A cage where you have to be depressed and feel unhappy and feel like shit. With a boss, you know, I'm not saying your boss has to really give a fuck about you, but I'm saying they should at least respect you. Like when you go to the fucking bathroom to cry or do whatever you need, get the 30 seconds of tears out, you should be able to do that. They should have breaks during work to go. If you are you know, you're going through something fucked up, you should be able to walk into that bathroom for 30 minutes and sob. Or punch a motherfucking stall or something. You know what I mean? Now you should have that 30 minutes, that 30 seconds, that hour, however long you could take every single day though. That's what you need to continue to do. Every day, practice feeling your emotions out. How do I feel? Question it. Do I feel stressed today? Do I feel hurt today? Do I feel angry? Do I feel mellow, calm? Whatever it is, you should be practicing it in the physical. Okay? It's like I said, these next 4 months, they're going to be quick. Really, really fucking fast. You're going to see improvements really fucking fast. And you're going to be shocked at what type of energy you start attracting. Specifically within the love lane, but especially within the finances. Within your relationship with your children. How fast that starts improving just by taking that little 30-minute break. You know, sitting in the bathroom when you when you taking a shit or whatever you doing during work. You just you start feeling that emotion boiling up. Don't push it back down. Cry it out. Punch that fucking stall in. Whatever. Property of the whatever. It don't matter. They won't know who the fuck did it. Fuck it. They won't know which one of you did it, because y'all all motherfucking mad up in that office. Y'all feeling like shit up in that office. Y'all feeling depressed in that damn office. Instead of smoking one, right? Smoking one every time you feel stressed out and hurt. And like I said, people say weed is not toxic, but it is toxic when you make that your life. You understand me? Like, it is toxic when it becomes an addiction. When you make that your life, right? When you start smoking in order to suppress. Whenever you feel hurt, you start smoking. Whenever you feel happy, you start smoking. Whenever you do this, you start smoking. Don't make that the behavior, right? Make it normal for you to feel. I am letting you know that if you just took that 30 minutes instead of smoking that blunt for 30 minutes, that you would be a lot farther than you are right now currently in finding a good, loving relationship. Of finding that good job. That nice, in powerful position at work. You would know exactly what you deserved. You would know that if you paid attention to how you actually felt. Instead of smoking or drinking it away. Because that shit's fucked up. They say that, oh, there's a meteor shower tonight. Hold on. Let me look. Maybe y'all should go outside and cry it out. Or punch it out or whatever. Start knocking down mosquitoes or something. Maybe tonight. Because I think there is a meteor shower. Let me look. Meteor shower tonight. They say 30 to 45 minutes. Come on now, y'all. I just tell you, motherfucker, take that 30 minutes out to ball or punch someone's not someone's lights out. Punch the air or something. I know you want to punch somebody, but I'm saying, please keep it to knocking out the ghosts. Punching the air. Crying it out. 30 minutes. Like I said, that's all it takes. They say that there's meteor showers tonight, though, y'all. They say 4 a.m. So, those of you that are my insomnia gang that stay up real late, you know, into the early hours in the morning where you just can't motherfucking sleep, you can't force yourself to, go outside. Go outside. 4 a.m. Go outside for them 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I want y'all to, whatever emotions that have been swaying so heavy on your heart, on your chest, on your life, on your relationship, let that shit out. Not let it go and pray it away. Let the shit out. Start knocking, like I said, start knocking down mosquitoes and shit, right? If you're angry, start knocking down mosquitoes. If you upset, you know, if you're sad, if you're depressed, cry it the fuck out right then and there. If you're feeling happy and giddy, dance that shit out, bitch. Start dancing this shit. Yeah, I better see you out there emoting like a motherfucker. I better see you out there feeling 21 emotions in one. You know, every 5 seconds you change emotions and you change your face and shit. I want to see that. To me, that's attractive. You know what I mean? To me, it's attractive when I can see on someone's face exactly what they're feeling and thinking. That is attractive. Because I also know that that person is a human being. Is a real human being. With real human thoughts, real human emotions. And I also know people like that where you can, like I said, you can see all the emotions on their face, how much they care, how much they feel, how much they love. I want to see all of that. All of that. All of that. This was a pretty long little, you know, felt like a little podcast, you know what I mean? An hour and 45. But it honestly, like, I feel like I've been here for like 30 minutes. Keep saying 30. I feel like I only been here for like 30 minutes, really. Like, I'm just serious. I doesn't even feel like I've been here for that long. So, I'm just saying. What I probably do the next live. Let's see. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break here. 30 minutes. Keep saying 30 minutes until I see y'all doing this shit. Until I see y'all doing this shit, crying for the 30 minutes, knocking on shit for 30 minutes, punching the pillows for 30 minutes. I better see y'all. I better see y'all. You heard me when I said you're going to need to be combing through all of that trauma, all of those fucked up situations, every word, every situation and scenario that you remember. And once you start remembering more, you keep going and you keep coming. I don't care how long the motherfucking list is. You keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And you'll start realizing certain things in your life that ain't right. You'll start taking them out one by one. Just like you taking out all that trauma. Just like you taking out all of those pent up and built up shit, emotions. Constipated emotions. You realize one by one, like dominoes, bitches be falling, fake ass bitches be falling out your life. One by one. 2 by 2. Marching down the motherfucking aisle. Marching down the shit. You be worried if you see me right now. Hell no. Hell to the motherfucking no. I'm neurotic as fuck. I am neurotic as a bitch. To me, I feel 21 different emotions in one. I can't say I always feel secure in that. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm not doing nothing wrong by getting a little angry, by getting a little salty, by feeling some type of way. Though I might not cry, I am in my own way. I am in my own way. And I just practice every single day allowing myself to feel it. Just let it be there. Don't smoke it away. I stopped smoking for that very reason. Because every single time I would feel something coming up, I would start smoking. Whether it was nicotine, whether it was weed, I would start smoking. I knew it was a problem. And yet, instead of addressing the problem, I chose to keep doing it, and wasting time like that. Instead of just if I took that 30 minutes a motherfucking day to just do something crazy and wild for a second, then I would have been okay. It's not scary. You don't have to fear those things anymore. You don't have to feel being angry. You won't take it out on the wrong people as long as you're not shoving it down and suppressing. And it's not selfish, by the way, when you be loving everybody else constantly and entirely with your whole self. It is not selfish to for 1 second sit down for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and just be with yourself. Feel yourself. Feel your past. Feel your present. Feel all of the emotions associated with that. You like I said, you better be looking like a crazy bitch. You better be. You best be. You best be looking crazy as a motherfucker. Alright, y'all. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Probably about 30 minutes.
and I'm gonna get myself to something to drink, something to eat, and then I'm gonna come back with a second reading. Now, I'm not sure which one of the ones that I'm gonna choose. I want to say, because I know all y'all will be returning more than likely. I think we'll change topic and talk a little bit about spirituality. We'll talk about spiritual attacks. We'll talk about gods amongst men, because again, amongst men, I can't speak. Gods amongst men, because it's really important to get out that type of energy too. I want to be able to kind of expose a little bit. I do a little expose on certain types of spiritualists. Not any small fry. We don't talk a small fry here. We're talking big bitches, big people. We're not talking about anyone specifically either. Those people will know who they are. We're gonna be talking about how much it takes to get to the center of all the important lessons in life, karma, and that. The rules that we should be following karmically. If you're interested in that, like I said, we're going to be talking about big spiritual people. Very, very large and in charge spiritualists. And if you're one of those people, or consider yourself to be, a little aware of yourself like that, come and see. Come and peep. Come and look. Come and check it out. It won't hurt you. Might be interesting. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one.